What's up, guys? Gym Monster 81. A pretty serious video today. I really don't make videos like this. I'm not one of the kind of guys that like to get into too many things like this. I normally just, get on here and make my videos about, fitness, working out, supplements, and things of that nature. And I try to keep it moving, But today, I got a question that was asked to me today, and it kind of struck home with me because it reminded me of something in my past that I probably won't get too deep into, because that's what this video is not for me to talk about myself. I'm actually looking at the question right now, and I got it on my phone, and I told the individual that I wouldn't put any names out there, because I mean, obviously he could be one of your subscribers, or something of that nature. But anyway, I'm gonna read the question that I got asked today. Like I said, it kind of hit home with me. It's a little bit personal. It's a personal question. But I'm gonna read it. And I'm gonna read you my response. I got my response on my phone, and I'm looking at the actual question right here because I don't feel like hitting the send button. I can just kind of go back and forth. But anyway, I got this today, and actually I got it last night, but I opened my phone this morning and this question popped up. And the question was from somebody. It was like, "Hey bro, I kind of see you like an older brother I don't have. I have a problem. I live on my own, in a student house. I have experienced some things that messed up my day, mood, and everything. I was done working, and I went to my home, and along came a white man next to me on a bike. And he hit me real hard in my head. He started yelling, 'Black fucks like you don't belong here,' and etc. He said, I don't have many family out here to talk to. Hope you can give me some big brother advice, please." Obviously, we already know where that's going. We already know what that was about. One thing I will say before I read you my response is that we shouldn't have to deal with things like this, man, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit older nowadays, and I can I don't want to say I can attest to things like this though, but I will say that stuff like this it really isn't tolerated. It's kind of nonsense. It's also one of those things that gets overlooked though. I'm not saying that I'm not even gonna go into that. I'm gonna just read you my response, man, because like I say, this thing hits home with me. Anyway, my response, I said, "Wow, man, back in the day, I was a victim of racism, and yeah, it can cut you pretty deep, to be honest. One thing that I learned from it is that not everyone shares the same views on people as you might do. I mean, you might be a loving and caring person and think racism is stupid, while some other guy may think racism is the way to go because that's how he was raised. Main point I'm trying to make is try your best to stay away from people like that, even though they walk and talk to you every day. You just have to weed out the ones that have issues and keep the genuine people close to you. Do you mind?" Then I asked him, I said, "Hey, do you mind if I do a video on this topic and read this question? I won't say your name or anything. I just know that there are others in our fitness community that can help us as well." And that's basically the gist of the whole video. Like I was saying, how I was a victim of the racism and stuff like that back in the day. Just a short story, man. I'm not going to go deep into it because like I said, it does hit home with me. But me and a couple of friends back in the day when we was young, I want to say I was like 8 to 10 years old, just walking from a park one day, and a group of individuals came running out of a house, chasing us with sticks and throwing bottles at us, calling us all kinds of nasty names. Caught a couple of my friends and beat them with some sticks and things like that. And I got a couple of scars on my wrist from the day it happened. But that kind of hit me real hard, man. And when I seen this question, that's what it made me think about. And that's the reason why I had to let them know that I was a victim of it too, man. And it can cut you pretty deep. Back in the day when I was young and that happened, man, it kind of tormented me a little bit. I had a lot of mixed views on things and stuff like that. Not saying that I fell a victim to it to the point where I became an individual like that. No, I grew and learned from it, like I said, and that's what I said to him in that. But I learned from it, and being that I was from the South, obviously you got to learn from it. But anyway, like I said at the bottom of the answer, but at the bottom of my response, there's a lot of other guys in the fitness community that can help. what I would like for you guys to do, because I don't want to make it seem like my response is golden to him. But if you could, you know, either leave a comment saying, you know, giving him some advice, or even just put a comment at the bottom with a little bit of advice or something else that he can do to try to, you know, help something he can do to help this situation, make it better for himself, something like that. Or either a video response or anything, man. I know it's a lot of you guys out there who's probably going to look at this and be like, wow, you know, you got your input that you want to make, and you got, you know, certain things you want to say. Hey, now is the time to help somebody that's in our community. Like I said, he could be one of your subscribers, but just so happened he decided to ask me. One of my friends asked me, you know, was it a joke? Because obviously it says April 1st on it. And I was like, man, obviously it's not a joke. Reason being is because he was like one of my first top 5 subscribers. Like my first 5 subscribers, he was one of the 5, you know, and I've been talking back and forth with him, so I don't think he'd just shoot me no line like that. But I asked him, could I put it up here, and he said yeah. So this is the video. This is just the topic that I want to talk about today. I don't really talk about things like this. I try to keep it strictly fitness and stuff like that for the most part. But like I say, this thing kind of hit home with me because it was something that kind of reminded me of an incident that happened with myself and my family back in the day. So if you guys can respond, I really appreciate it. I mean, just put your comments at the bottom. Maybe he can go through and sort out some of the comments and probably get some good information and some good advice from some of you guys. Advice just myself, because I am not, you know, by far a counselor or anybody who knows the real answer to this. But tell him, you know, how he can probably deal with it or something. I mean, help, just help. Basically, just help. It's a lot of you guys out there, especially it's a few of you in particular who I really want to respond to this, because I know you guys got some great knowledge. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. My wife cooking. It's time for me to go eat. But just, if you can, please put some comments at the bottom. Jam Monster 81. I'm out, man. Peace.